Okay, man, I think first and foremost, you probably got this question a lot. Where have you been for the past few years since you last played football?
No, I've been around.
What have you been up to like since stopping playing football?
No, I've been in the business space.
What exactly?
No, I can't really say much about my business stuff. That's personal stuff.
So you say you're an entrepreneur now, businessman, ex-footballer?
All the titles.
Sure.
What's your status? What's your current status? Are you still a player? Do we say Manta Masango have you retired? I think that's the big question.
I think that you'll find out in my book that I'm writing.
Is that like pizza now?
Tell us more about it. What's your book about? When can we expect it?
No, we're still far from completing the book, but once it's complete, you guys will have the first copy of the book, I promise.
Manda, it's been years since you've been wearing a Kaizer Chiefs badge. Do you get goosebumps? Because the last time you played for Chiefs, you guys had an amazing season there, have fun. So
No. Like the feeling will never go away. The badge is really special, you know. Like to play for Kaizer Chiefs is not something you see every day. You know, it was like a dream come true for me, coming from Mpumalanga, where there's absolutely no hope of like getting out of poverty. But football saved my life, and Kaizer Chiefs gave me that opportunity, and I was blessed that I came directly from Vodacom team straight to Kaizer Chiefs first team, which is something that doesn't happen a lot.
and then earlier in the interview you said Stuart Baxter was the coach who came with the back three, and he wants to ask you who was the last coach who won the trophy. It was just Stuart Baxter, you were part of that squad, and in those years, Chiefs was very dominant, and they fell off along the years. And going into this competition of Black Label Cup, do you think Atazwan has assembled a team that can bring back glory to Kaizer Chiefs the same way you guys did last time in 2015?
Firstly, you know, when Baxter came, the team was together for like 4 or 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. And then there were like a couple of additions, like he brought Kingston Nkata, Tsepo Masilela, Morgan Poole, Gatla. You see, just to strengthen the back four. So I think he needed stability in order for like teams to win championships. You need like a good stability, and your spine needs to be aligned. So with the current team, Arthur is new, and he's got like a lot of younger players who have been like really won titles. So it was difficult, like it's a bit tricky, you know. You can't compare the two because they like here you have youngsters, here you have seasoned campaigners, players who when they were called on to play, they made sure that the team fights for every title. So they are in the rebuilding phase, of which most of these boys are fairly young, and the players that they've brought in, they've never like really like won any cup, so they don't have that winning mentality yet. But the moment you walk into the Kaizer Chiefs dressing room, you must know that this is a big club where you need to step up. This is a team that must win trophies. That's the culture of the club. They are all about winning and winning trophies.
Now let's talk about the current Black Label Cup.
Yeah.
You were fortunate to play in the competition yourself, whereby you were voted because at that time you had a deadly combination. Malema, it was you, it was George Maluleka, it was Yel Tsulanyan and George Libis. You know, so take us through what it's like playing in the tournament, and also how you receive the champion coach, because on match day the head coach gets to take a step back, and now you are being coached by a champion coach.
obviously, like this cup, it's the Kalin Black Label Cup. It's more about the supporters having the power to decide who must play, who must not play. So it's a really good initiative where it bridges the gap between the fans and the management of the clubs and the players, where everyone gets to share ideas in a way, like back then where the coach had to be selected, and he would come in and make his starting 11 in a way, which it was provided by the fans, and now it's his first time seeing us live, so it's an experience where you cannot go to a ShopRite and buy it. It's something that happens. When it happens, and you need to cherish it for the rest of your life. And the experience of playing in such a big tournament, it's really touching, because in my time I had the opportunity where it was full to capacity, and I really enjoyed that moment. It's something that I will honor for the rest of my life.
I think of all the Chiefs players in the past, I get the most questions about you. A lot of fans are still a bit heart-sore about how you left the club, about you're not coming back to the club. Like, what would you say to them, like, about that, like, being upset that how you left and possibly not coming back to the club when there was potentially an opportunity?
Since I said, like, there's a book I'm writing, but I will reveal most of the stuff just to give you a highlight of that situation. I'm really grateful to the club, to the chairman, and to the entire staff. And I had my fair share, which I enjoyed, and I'll always cherish it. I am what I am today because of Kaizer Chiefs. So I will always give my all for Chiefs, whether in the coaching position one day, whether in the management position, or whether in what. I will always owe Chiefs my life. I am what I am today because of Kaizer Chiefs. And the fans, clearly they mustn't be upset. Players come and go, it's life. They just need to heal from that and move on and support the current generation.
Talking about players coming and go, you just said that you just went from Vodacom League straight to Kaizer Chiefs, Super Sport United, South Africa's under 23. In that career, what best memories can you pick out and say, on this game against Pirates, or on this game against Super Sport, or on this game was the best moment of my life?
I think every moment that I shared on the pitch, off the pitch, and with the media, at home, the reception I got, I'll forever cherish that moment, because it's something that you don't go out there and buy it. It's something that happens naturally. And for all the trophies that I've won, and for donning the national team jersey representing Bafana at AFCON, those are like highlights. Going overseas and so basically living my dream, because I had a dream as a young boy, which was to play for Chiefs in the country, go overseas. So I'm fairly blessed that I achieved all of that, and also to play for the national team in AFCON stage.
2 questions from my side, Manda. Number 1, you mentioned all these things that you managed to do in your time. Are there any regrets? And number 2, you said you're an entrepreneur now and you wear all of those titles. Are you then lost to football? Is there a possibility that we can say Manda Masango is no longer involved in football, or would you like to come back in some capacity?
I'm not lost in football, hence I'm here. I'll never be lost in football. Football is my first love, so I will never be lost in football. But I don't think I'll come back as in a capacity of coaching. I don't aspire to be a coach. That's not my field, But I'm not lost to football. I'm here. You never know. I might play, I might not. It's life. Only God knows what will happen tomorrow.
And the regrets?
I don't have any regrets. Truly speaking, I don't have any regrets. I don't have any grudges. I don't have any negative impact in my life. Football has given me this wonderful life that I'm cherishing now, and I'm a living proof of that. And I owe my life to football, and I'll forever owe my life to football. Even if, God forbid, I can pass on tomorrow, people will always remember me as a footballer. You know, they will always remember me as a brand that was made out of football.
How would you sum up your experience in Denmark and in Europe? And would you advise, young up-and-coming talents to take, that risk that you took to, sometimes playing in Europe, you don't get paid as much as playing at Chiefs or Pirates or Sunderland, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
would
true.
you advise that younger players take that risk that you did?
I think it's clearly up to an individual, but I would advise that players try and move overseas at an early age so that you can get to develop, because the standard is not the same. If we look at the current players and the likes of Mark Fish and Dr. Kumal and all of those, they had their size. So, because football overseas is more about speed, precision, it's all about tactics, and it's all about the physique, But we as South Africans, we can compare ourselves more to the Brazilians, because if you can look at the style of the Brazilians, it's what we specialize in. So if we can nurture those type of talents and then try and export, move them overseas at an early age, we can have world beaters. So my advice to them is that they must dream big.
Last one for me, Mandla, you just mentioned that you have a good relationship with the club, but can you tell us how did this call for you to come and represent the club today come along? How did they reach you? Since you've just told us that you are writing a book and entrepreneur, and how did Chiefs come to you and say, Mandla, we want you to come and represent Chiefs at this lodge today?
I think it was more like, when they say izinto masibhekene nawo sibhekane nawo. If you can look at the slogan, it's self-explanatory. Avulekile Masango. So you know what I mean? Yes.
So Masango.
Exactly.
Okay, just doing Masango.
Exactly.
And then, how does that make you feel to say, okay, let me wear Kaizer Chiefs for that day and come and talk good things about the club here today?
It's because at the end of the day, like I said, football made me. I am who I am today because of football, specifically because of Kaizer Chiefs. And it also shows that the impact I had during the time I was playing. When you play, you're playing. You don't know how much impact you're making up until maybe you take a break or you stop. Then you will see the impact by such initiatives where they know you, they still remember you, they call you, and they give you all these opportunities. Clearly it shows that I've touched so many lives, and I give glory to God for giving me the talent, and also for allowing me to bless people with my footballing skills and to change their lives, also to give them that sense of hope and believe that anything is possible.
I overheard you say something, last one from me. I overheard you say something earlier on. I think you were speaking to the TV guys. You said the national team suffers when Chiefs doesn't perform well. Or you said when Chiefs is not performing because of how many players like you used to have.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on
Okay, so if you look at stats, for example, when the national team does well, probably there's 4 or 5 Kaizer Chiefs players playing. So if let's look at the current situation, firstly, before we go there, let's take for example, when we were winning winning trophies and doing well, how many players we had in the national team? It was a lot, and Bafana qualified for the AFCON. So that's a fact. Something that you can go and check yourself as well, and it's really sad because Chiefs is a very big team, you know, and now there's less and less internationals, you know, because of certain things like they're rebuilding now, so you can't expect the players automatically to push for Bafana because you must first perform at your club level. Look at Sikhota now. It's a typical example. He's really doing well, you know. So he needs to keep the momentum going, and hopefully he will inspire the other players in and around him, the likes of Nkosing Pile Ngogo, who, in my opinion, I think is a very talented player. He's special. He has all the attributes. He just needs good guidance and needs someone to tell him the truth, not sugarcoat anything. It's not everything where a coach like Pito. When he was at Al Ali, there was rumors that he wanted him because there's something special about him. Why didn't he go for Tembazwane, Serino and whatnot? But he was looking at him. I just wish him all the best, and I hope he can focus and take his career seriously. He's got everything.
Thanks, Mandla.
Sure, my chance.